Lesson 7.3, Order of Operations. The goal of today's lesson is to teach you how to use order of operations to solve a problem. The essential vocabulary for this lesson begins with numerical expression, which means it's a combination of numbers and operations. Like, let's say, several numbers that involve multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting. An order of operations, that's what it's called when you simplify an expression using a four-step process, which would be solving anything within parentheses or grouping symbols, simplifying all numbers that have exponents, in other words, solving them, then multiplying and dividing from left to right, adding and subtract right. Please take note of this particular slide in this video. Make sure that if you need to use it for further reference, you can either screen capture it, write it down, or even print it out if you have to. These are the steps that I just mentioned earlier of order of operations. In example 1, you would begin by writing down the acronym PEMDAS, or what's being used more frequently nowadays, GEMDAS. For G would be grouping symbols, the E would be exponents, M is multiplying, D is dividing, A is adding, and S is subtracting. And use it as a guide, almost like a checklist, and ask yourself, like, did I check for parentheses? Did I check for exponents? And so on. In this case, ask yourself, is there a parentheses in this problem? No. Is there an exponent? No. Is there multiplying and dividing? No. How about adding and subtracting from left to right? The answer is yes. So you would start on the left, you would subtract 14 minus 5. Now if you notice there, after I solved that step, I rewrote my problem. Once you do that, whatever's left, you would solve it. In this case, it's 9 plus 3, and your final answer is 12. In example 2, you would begin with your checklist again. Is there a parentheses? How about an exponent? Multiplication? Yes. So you start right there. And you can underline that part of the expression just so you don't get lost or confused. 10 times 2 is 20, so we rewrite our problem. Do we have division in our new problem? How about addition? Yes. So you would add those two, and all you have left is 27. In example 3, you begin with your checklist again, and yes, we do have a parentheses, or a grouping symbol, if you will. So you would solve that first, no matter what operation's inside. Once you do that, the next step is ask yourself, is there multiplication or division from left to right? And my mistake, I skipped exponents, but they're not there. So you would solve your division and your multiplication left to right, and you end up with 9 and 160. Then ask yourself, is there addition? Yes. So add those up and you get 169. In the final example, there is no parentheses, so the next one is exponents, and that does show up in this problem, so you would solve that first, which gives you 25. The next step would be multiplying and dividing left and right. We have multiplying, so you would do that step next, 4 times 25. And the final step that appears in this problem is addition. You would add those up and you end up with 107. As always, thanks for watching, and leave comments below if you have any questions.